Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to our second video ever on the channel. Today we're going to do a fantasy football mock draft from the 111 spot. This is going to be a full PPR draft, no kickers, no defense. Let me know what pick you guys want to see next down below in the comments. Let's get right into it. Starting off, obviously your Jamar Chases, your Saquon Barkleys, Bijan Robinson, CDs are all going to go within the first 11 picks. There's about 14 guys that I think have a tremendous upside, and then there's a slight drop off with the rest of the players. So as we're coming up on our turn, we do have a slight edge over the 112 just because we can pick right before him, see how he does. So since this being full PPR, you want to look at really three guys, I'd say. It's going to be Nico Collins, Brian Thomas, or Devon Achane. Genty and CMC are not too far behind. Pretty nervous about McCaffrey, just like everybody else is. But with this being full PPR, I'm going to take Nico Collins pretty confidently. Yes, he had a hamstring injury last year, but look at the numbers when he was healthy. 17, 27, 33, 15, 20, 20. 18. I mean, he still had 1,000 yards and missed 5 games. People might have some concerns about CJ Stroud and that offensive line in Houston and how it might be the worst in the league. But we can only hope that he just feeds Nico Collins and gets the ball out quick. On the turn, this guy goes RB running back, and he takes Brian Thomas and Genty, which is a great stack for him. Lucky for us, we do get our guy Devon Achane falling. Again, with full PPR, this guy's getting 87 targets last year, 78 catches. We are hoping Tua does stay healthy all year, but honestly, since that's something that's not in our control, there's really not much we can do about that. This guy is a target machine. He's averaging like 7 targets a game. And with that rushing upside and the speed that he has, I think it's a no-brainer. Again, full PPR, this is a must-draft player. So you see Bowers go with 204, which is a good pick. Still think it's a little bit early for tight ends. You see Josh Allen and Lamar both go in the second round. Jaden Daniels going. The thing I like about this 3-4 turn is there's some great talent here. You got Kamara, Omarion Hampton, you got Terry McLaurin, Mike Evans, Marv, Jalen Hurts, George Kittle. So you have the slight edge on this guy drafted behind you. Now, while we both did 1 RB, 1 running back, we can kind of see how it'll play out at the end. It's really not one position I'm looking for. Hurts is very interesting. Maybe if he falls in that 4th round, if this guy doesn't pick him on the turn, it might be interesting. I just think it's a little bit too early right now. Kamara's great. K9 is iffy. I just think there's a slight drop off here, so I might be reaching for one of these players. Kittle is a great selection. However, again, I would like to fill out my other positions first and get a little bit more depth. I think we can pass on a tight end because I'd rather get a guy like Ingram or Njoku in the 7th, 8th round. A guy I'm looking at receiver wise is really going to be like a DJ Moore, Marv Terry. Even if this guy doubles up, I'm getting one of my guys, right? DJ Moore in that offense, I think he has a lot of potential. He's getting snaps in the backfield, and I think they're just gonna have to throw the ball a lot more with Caleb Williams. I think these top 5 guys are all pretty similar in the same tier. So even if he does double up on receiver, I'm fine with any of these guys, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Mike Evans here. I just think he has the most consistent year this year. So Hurts and McLaurin end up going after me. There's a slight drop off after these 4 guys, right? You get DJ Moore, Marv, Tay, drop off. You know, maybe DK fits in there, but DK, Sutton, Smith, they're all wide receiver 2s, all right? I'm actually going to do something a little bit interesting. I'm not sure if a lot of people are as high on him this year as I am. I'm going to take DJ Moore. I'm going to bank on that offense with Ben Johnson being a lot better than they were last year. He's lining up as running back in the red zone, getting some rushing attempts. I think DJ Moore is going to have a high usage this year. I hate passing on Devontae Adams just because him and Stafford, I think, are going to have a great connection. But again, this is all about upside. Marv's dealing with some knee injuries. Didn't really do a lot route running last year, kind of just lined up on the outside. I'm going to take Ben Johnson and the Chicago Bears to take a slight step up this year. My receivers are locked in. I got, 3 potential wide receiver 1s that could finish this year. Very, very happy with that selection. As we get to the 5-6 turn, would be great to get our RB2, and I think a guy sticking out right here is going to be David Montgomery as our RB2. Travion Henderson is someone that's very, very interesting, getting a lot of buzz in camp this year. A lot of people fading from Pacheco, Aaron Jones at his age. Quarterbacks, obviously, since this guy already has Hurts, he's not going to take a quarterback. If we want, we could get the stack with Baker and Mike Evans. That's something to think about at our 6th round selection. Wide receivers, cool. You got Tet, he was a great pick. Waddle Olave, GP. These guys aren't starting for me, so I'd rather fill out my roster just due to the fact that I already have 3 receivers anyway. So the only other option would be tight end. So tight end here, I think Hawkinson's going to be really good this year. Still got Kelsey, Andrews, Ingram, so a lot of potential on the board, but nothing that will separate them from a guy like Njoku or Loveland. I think the easy pick here is David Montgomery. Fill in our RB2 role and see where this takes us. As you can see, Hawkinson and Waddle go right after. Can take a guy just for a backup is Travion Henderson. I like Travis Hunter. Obviously, Tet here is going to be great picks, but I think having that stack of Mike Evans and Baker this year is going to be something really, really fun. Baker had a career year last year. I mean, he went crazy with 41 touchdowns, 4,500 yards, has some rushing upside as well. That offense should be really, really fun this year. He's got Ibuka. He's got obviously Bucky, Rashad White in the backfield. Can wait. I know a lot of people are high on waiting on a quarterback because you can get a Stroud. I can get the Stroud Nico stack, the Caleb DJ Moore stack. A lot of people are high on Purdy, Jordan Love, Justin Fields. I like the guy that's just a better football player, and I'm going to take Baker Mayfield. I do have that stack, and I think that offense is going to elevate. Don't have to worry about it the rest of the draft. Coming up on our 7th round pick at the tight ends, is the last position we would have to quote unquote fill out. I like Mark Andrews. Evan Ingram's there and Njoku's there. These are very, very good picks. The value of Mark Andrews here, while I did say last round pick that it wasn't super interesting, is starting to creep on me just because of the upside of that Baltimore offense. Lamar Jackson with Isaiah Likely being out for probably a couple weeks. Obviously, he might need surgery. When he's on the lineup, Mark Andrews does tend to thrive. Him being healthy this year, I think, is very, very interesting. Do have some good running backs as well. You got Caleb Johnson, ETN. These guys are kind of just there. They're kind of just filling roles. And then at receiver, you got Khalil Shakir, you got Diggs, you got Debo, like some decent wide receiver 3s. I like my 3 guys here. I think I'm pretty much set on these guys right now and get someone later down the road. So Mark Andrews is going to be one of my 2 picks here. You just have to play it smart. I'm going to pick him right here at the 802. This guy is not going to double up on tight ends. He needs another running back, so that's one of his picks, and then he's probably going to look at his flex. Mark Andrews will be my 8th round selection. Really, we have our lineup filled out. It's just best player available. So who do I want here? Caleb Johnson, someone I've been looking at. He's getting a lot of first team reps in camp. Super young and explosive. Then you got his backup right here in Jalen Warren. Both of them are getting first team looks, so who knows how that situation's gonna end up. You got Tyrose Tracy, Cam Scatterbo. It's really picking like between 1A, 1B, right? There's not a guy who's gonna be a lot better than the other. ETN is interesting, but again, like who knows, right? Like these guys are kind of just here. They're not gonna have that RB1 upside. So I think there is a drop off after Diggs. Once you get to like Matthew Golden, Jay Reed, Pearsall, there's a drop off in receivers. Josh Downs is a sleeper, but you might be able to get him later on. I am going to take the upside of Stefon Diggs as my wide receiver 4. He's been impressive all camp. He looks really, really healthy coming off his injury. With Drake May at quarterback, I think it's going to be something interesting. There's not a lot of competition. I mean, you got Pop Douglas, Kashawn Booty, like no one really to take the role of Stefon Diggs and what he can provide. Khalil Shakir was somebody I was debating, but he is a little bit banged up. So yeah, I'll take the upside on Diggs. Mark Andrews falls to us. I think that's a great selection in the 8th round. Again, I was talking about getting a guy like Njoku, maybe Tyler Warner or Ingram. You kind of just have to read the board. If these guys fall to you, you're gonna want to take the better player. And you can see in 24 picks, that huge run of tight ends did go off. So I wouldn't have gotten Njoku when I got Tyler Warner. When I got Ingram, those are guys I was really looking at. So I just took the guy that I thought had the most potential. At the board, again, I like these later rounds in handcuffs. I think Zach Charbonnet is a really great handcuff to Kenneth Walker. K9's usually almost always hurt every year. Charbonnet is very consistent when he's playing. Has a lot of potential. I think that Charbonnet is a pretty easy pick here. Looking at the other running backs, Dobbins is supposed to be RB1 apparently. Stevenson's like just kind of there. Jordan Mason's a good handcuff. Receiver wise, we got Mooney, Michael Pittman I might take here. AR is looking pretty good at camp right now. So I mean, in the 10th round when this guy was healthy, again, he did have back injuries like all last year, but he's consistently getting 7-8 targets a game. I think in the 10th round is something you can't really pass up. Worst case scenario, he's my wide receiver 5. And with our last pick, again, you just kind of have to read the board. I'm pretty set on receivers. I mean, sure, you can take a upside on Burden or like a Rashad Bateman who will get get you, what, 7-8 points a week on average. Might pop off one week. A lot of the guys I like later on are these handcuffs and these RB2s, because running backs do get hurt, and it is just something that's a part of the game. If you drafted a guy like James Conner, you might want to take his handcuff and Trey Benson. Tank Bigsby is kind of interesting just because of the fact that he was RB1 last year, but with ETN being healthier this year, I mean, this guy's caught, what, 8 passes in 2 years. Not really banking on him having the most upside. Jaden Boo has crazy overall speed. He's been getting some reps in with the ones. Garendo is someone I'd get, even though he is hurt, just to a backup of CMC. But I do like the rookie in Jaden Blue. I think he's interesting. That Cowboys offense might be decent, but he's got potential. Again, it's a 11th round pick, so nothing too crazy. I'm going to take Jaden Blue and call it a day. So our final roster recap, this is how we're looking. We have Baker as our QB. RB1 is Devon Achane. Our RB2 is David Montgomery. He's a touchdown machine. Our wide receiver 1 is Nico Collins, followed by our wide receiver 2 at Mike Evans. Very consistent picks when they're healthy. Tight end is Mark Andrews. Again, Lamar loves his tight ends. Baltimore's offense, I'll bank on that every day. With our flex being DJ Moore, who has potential to be the top 12 receiver this year. Should be elevated with Ben Johnson calling the plays and Chicago taking a step forward hopefully this year. And just some guys on the bench. We got Stefon Diggs, might have some upside. Same with Michael Pittman, could get 7-8 catches or targets a game. And then kind of handcuffs are like these RB2s. Zach Charbonnet is interesting just due to the fact of K9 not being the most healthy player in the NFL. Jaden Blue just banking on his speed and the upside of being a rookie. So yeah, if you guys did like this draft, go make sure to like and comment. Let me know what you liked about this draft. Let me know if you disagreed with something I did down below in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and I'm out. Peace.